here as we did hit 2 hours again, even though I said I wasn't gonna. All right, so our lone quickie of and it's a juicy quickie at that was the Gold Cup results of soccer. So the U.S. team, men's soccer team, was in the semifinals, Final Four for the Gold Cup, and we lost to Jamaica, even though we were huge favorites, and I talked about that on last week's show. Well, then, Jamaica went on to lose to Mexico, who beat Panama in the semifinals. So Jamaica loses to Mexico, in the finals. Mexico wins the Gold Cup. Congratulations, Mexico and their soccer team. The following day, or 2 days later, or whatever, their coach gets fired for apparently getting into some heated altercation, argument, or something with someone at an airport. That's insane! Apparently, this guy had only been coaching the team for about 3 years or something like that, and every year made the team better. And this was like their first Gold Cup championship in maybe ever, or a long time, or I don't know what. And then they fired him for like, wow, like, don't, again, can't you go, this guy just won us the championship, and maybe we can spin the story in a way where it's just some jerk at an airport, or we can do apologies and find other forms of punishment to make people accept him still being our coach. But they go and fight. How do you win a world, sporting championship and then days later get fired? Because you got in an altercation with someone at an airport. Crazy, crazy stuff. So there's your soccer quickie. All right, now, we're running out of time, like I said, and we must get to Balls Deep Thought of the Day. All right, so for Balls Deep Thought of the Day, we're going to go back to Mr. Hulk Hogan and his comments. And we're going to try and keep it quick, but we're going to go, we're going to go as deep as we've ever gone here on Balls Deep. Our Balls Deep Thought of the Day, like I said, I'm going to keep it pretty short and simple to a question, and I would like just your feedback. Tweet me on Twitter at BDST Show. Send me a message on Facebook at Scotty-Ball. Now, the question, the Balls Deep Thought of the Day, is this. Hulk Hogan was, forced to resign. Contract was terminated, however you want to word it, whatever you want to believe. He lost his job this past week because of words that he said that were from several years ago in a private setting that did not in any way pertain to working relationships or his ability to do his job, while he was not under contract with the WWE. I believe he was either employed by TNA at the time, or he was not employed by anybody. Knowing all of that, the Balls Deep Thought of the Day in question is this. At what point is it a violation for American freedom of speech when a person can lose employment based on past personal comments made privately that do not involve or correlate to the work environment? Now, I mean, in a sense, what the WWE did to Hulk Hogan based off of his comments, like I said, you need to punish the guy. You need to, you suspend him. You don't pay him any money. You don't allow him to work. You force him to go through counseling and therapy and whatever else you want, before you'll even consider, allowing him to come back and work for you again. But what they did to him, in a sense, was no different than, let's say, an NBA team drafted Let's just use this for an example. Okay, the Minnesota Timberwolves drafted Karl Anthony Towns, number 1 overall. Okay, now let's say that next year, sometime, or 2 years from now, whatever, a video comes up of a young Mr. Towns when he was 16, 17, something like that. 18, 19, whatever. Just something from before, his professional career. And he says a bunch of stupid stuff. Would the Minnesota Timberwolves then immediately cut and release Karl Anthony Towns? And then beyond that, would the NBA blacklist him so that no one could hire him based off of some really stupid comments that he made a few years ago before we employed him? Of course not. That is freaking absurd. That's insanity. But that is exactly what happened here with Hulk Hogan. Exactly. There's no... You find the hole in that parallel and point it out to me. Okay? Because I'd love to see it. Because that's exactly what this is here. Had Hulk Hogan been an employee of WWE, these comments come out, they were made at that time, yes. Then you say, okay, he's an employee of ours, and these are, his views and our views, and we don't tolerate that or whatever. But one person says stupid stuff years ago, you don't know that they were being serious, you don't know and you don't know that they're still that same person. People are growing, living beings. Same as an animal or a plant or anything else like that. Does the tree out in your yard, is it the same today as it was 3 years ago? Or has it grown since then? Oh, it has. Wow, how is that possible? Oh, because it's life. Yeah, okay, no, sure. So again, while there is no, excuse for using language ever on anyone's part that, Hulk Hogan did, at what point do we stop being so overly self-protective and easily offended and overreactive as a society? So yeah, that's our balls deep thought of the day. What can we do to get to a place where not only do people not say these things in the first place, but that companies and people know how to respond in appropriate, productive manners that allow for healthy growth and change and reform. Yeah, that's it. All right, let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed the show this week. Sorry we went a little bit over time as always. I just, you know me, I can't stop rambling. So make sure to tune in next week on same time and all these same channels, live on WNLMradio.com every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Also take advantage of the show on the Spreaker app, the TuneIn app, SoundCloud, and YouTube. And make sure you heart us and like us while you're on all those things so that within the next week or two, the show can also be brought to you via iHeartRadio. All right, again, for everyone at WNLMradio.com, I am Scotty Ball. Thanks for listening to Balls Deep Sports Talk. Hope you tune in next week. Have a great, safe rest of your week and weekend, and we'll see you in August. All right, I'm out. Peace.